Welcome back to another episode of the Better Now Kyle podcast. This is something that's been on my mind for a while in regards to the NBA and them having 30 basketball teams. I always felt like, for a while now, I felt like not the teams, but I feel like the league, and it's been discussed about expansion, but I feel like as the years go by, it should be really taken into serious consideration. Just because I feel like there's a lot of talent that's not getting a fair shot. Whether that's in the G League, rookies, overseas guys that's coming over, that's getting sent to the bench and having to, be DMP'd. I feel like I just feel like the NBA needs to really consider expansion, just because it'll give guys more of an opportunity to actually play. Because I get frustrated watching college ball, and I'm seeing certain guys that have great college careers, and they may not be highly regarded as a number one overall pick or a top 10 pick. And after the 10 picks, anybody that gets picked after that is usually they're headed for the G League, or they're headed for the end of the bench, and they're not going to play, and then they'll end up being just in that limbo of a bench role, and with no signs of progression or no signs of opportunity for them to actually play. And within a year or two, they're out of the league. And I've seen it happen multiple times. I've seen it happen a lot. It happens pretty consistently, more than not. I'll see watch a guy in high school ball out. He might even be a McDonald's All-American. What ends up happening, he gets to college, has a stellar career. He might be one and done, maybe 2 years the most. Might transfer, and if he's not on that big board of those 10 picks, then I already know. I'm I could see how his career is going to play out more than not. And I'm not trying to sound like a hater. I'm just calling for what I see and what it is. I'll see a guy get drafted after the 10th pick, maybe a lottery pick, second round pick, and I'm shit, damn. He's headed for the G League, probably a two-way deal, and within a year he'll be out the league. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen with Sharif Cooper. Great career, one of the best high school basketball careers of this generation. Great point guard, really good point guard. Goes to Auburn. I kind of little bit forgot about what happened. He wasn't eligible to play those first few games. He came more late. One and done, goes into the draft, gets drafted by the Hawks. Late second round, late first round, I believe. Maybe early second round. But I'm damn, I know what's about to happen to him. I can see it before it happens. I'm and I believe that the Hawks already had a backup point guard behind Trae Young already. But in my mind, I'm damn, that's a good pickup for them, because Trae has a backcourt mate. But then in my back of my mind, I'm damn, they about to put this dude on a two-way deal. He's about to be, in the G League, battling for playing time, and he's not really going to get that many minutes, on the actual team. And what ended up happening was he was on the Hawks for 2 years, and they ended up believe that they cut him or they waived him, and then he ends up going to Cleveland, and he ends up joining their G League team. And I'm yeah, he's not going to play there because they already got Darius Garland. He's not going to play, so he ends up going to the G League on their team, the Canton Charge, and then within a few years, this year he ends up leaving. I believe after they won the G League championship, I believe they might have won, and he ends up going to China, which is better for him, because my thing is, go get the money. But it just sucks because his journey, his story happens to a lot of guys, and I don't think it's fair, because he's a pretty good player. I feel like he just lacked opportunity. He lacked a real shot, and he never got that. Same thing with Amari Bailey. Amari Bailey recently was waived by the Charlotte Hornets, and he was literally drafted last year out of UCLA. And I watched him come up. I watched him at Sierra Canyon, play really good there for those 3 years. Played great, ended up becoming McDonald's All-American, goes to UCLA, has a decent one and done career there. I guess one and done career, it's really a real career. But he was one and done, which I expected that. Gets drafted to Charlotte, I believe, in the second round But then I already knew, like, once I saw him become, like, get drafted in the second round, I'm like, bro, there's no way he's going to play because Charlotte's depth on their team was already deep. Like, they already had a bunch of guys that was already going to play. And I'm like, he's a 3-and-D guy, plays really well, pretty good guard, versatile guard, could stretch the floor, could cut really well, very athletic. But I'm like, I could already see where this is going. Like, he's gonna probably end up in a G League, probably not play. If he does play on the actual team, it'll be in blowout situations, last 4 minutes, game's already decided, garbage time. And in some people's eyes, there's no such thing as garbage time, but it's garbage time. Like, I'm just being completely honest with you. Playing garbage time, and then the day after that, he'll just get sent back down to the G League and play with those guys. And that's what ended up happening. The Hornets declined a chance to, I guess, renew his two-way deal, I believe, for $1.8 million, I believe. So they declined it, making him a free agent. And I'm like, damn, it's kind of fucked up because it's not too late for him to join a G League team or a Summer League team, but it kind of is because teams already have their roster. So now what he has to do is basically sit and wait and see after the G League, after the Summer League, what teams will be willing to pick him up if they want to, because a lot of teams already are filled with spots. But just going back to my initial point, I just feel like guys deserve a better chance. I feel like we need more teams. These younger guys are coming in, and it's like they're already behind the 8 ball, and it's like a lot of times in sports, it's politics. Like, it's politics involved in this shit more than anything. So, you have a coach that might draft you. Perfect example, you have a coach that drafts you, and within a year, let's say he gets fired. Now, the new coach that comes in basically doesn't know who you are. Like, he knows who you are, but he doesn't know who you are, if that makes sense. Like, I'm basically inheriting. It's like inheriting hand-me-downs from your brother, your sister, your older brother, or your older sister. It's like, these ain't really my clothes. Like, this ain't really my shit. None of this shit is really my shit. Like, you guys aren't really my guys. Like, I'm inheriting what the other coach brought in. So I really don't. Now you basically got to audition for me now to prove to me why you belong on this roster. Even though in my mind, I really don't give a fuck because you're probably going to be gone anyways because I'm bringing in my own guys. I'm bringing my own coaching staff. I'm bringing my own players. I'm bringing my own dietitians. I'm bringing all my own shit. Like, I'm bringing it all in. So it's tough because it's like, damn, the coach that believed in me, he's gone. And now this new coach that I have no relationship with, I basically got to without saying it, but really saying it, kiss his ass to prove that I deserve to be on this roster. And it's just tough because, a lot of these guys have so much talent, and it's like I get tired of seeing guys having to go overseas when you can make money overseas, but they shouldn't have to do that because it's just a lot. Like, overseas, nothing's really not that nothing's really guaranteed, but it's not like the NBA where you're gonna get a 5-year deal. You might get lucky, get a multi-year deal, but you're away from your family, bro. Like, this is the United States of America. Like, American-born players want to be in America. They don't want to have to go overseas and have to go from this country to 1 year, to this country 1 year, to this country 1 year. Yes, you are making money and you're traveling. That's a beautiful thing too. But at the same time, a lot of them aren't bringing their families with them because that's a lot of people or whoever you're dealing with, wife, multiple kids. You might have to take care of your mom, your little sister, or something like that. That's a lot for them to have to keep moving them from country to country to country, from league to league to league, apartment house. Like, that's just too much to deal with. And yes, you can make, like I said, you can make decent money there. We all know that, but at the same time, nobody wants to have to go through that. That's just a lot on somebody who's trying to just focus on getting better. And you would rather just be here in America with your family. You're comfortable. You know the scheme of everything. You know how the whole thing works. It's just tough, and I get like I said, I just get tired of seeing such great talent having to go overseas and play in these countries because I can't even watch them play because they're not playing on networks. So it's like only way I'm able to see their stats and their highlights is on Ball is Life or Switch Cultures or whatever basketball outlet that I follow on Instagram. And it's just tough because like overseas, and I'm not knocking overseas, but for a lot of these guys, they're too good for overseas, if that makes sense. Like, they're too good for it. Not that they're above it, they're just too talented for it, and you can see it because a lot of our American-born players will go over there and they'll average 30, 40, 50, 60. Like, I think JR averaged like fucking 50 or 40 when he went to China. And it's like shit like that. Like, for them, it's good because they're getting a sweat in and they're running and they're getting like good bump, good run. But at the same time, in the back of their mind, they're like, bro, this shit is too fucking easy for me. Like, I'm not getting better. Like, I'm really not getting better if you really think about it. Like, yeah, I'm scoring a lot of points and I'm getting my highlight plays, but I'm not getting better as a ball player. And I know I'm not getting better as a ball player because a lot of these dudes are, a lot of the dudes that's playing against them, you can say that they're fans of them. They know these guys. They know these American guys. So it's like they're hyped because, like, oh, I'm playing against this dude that I watched in America, and I'm playing against him, and he's dunking on me, he's scoring on me. I can't believe it. Like, they're not gonna play them super hard, like, because they know at the end of the day, I'm only here for a short amount of time because I'm trying to get a good tape to send to some of these NBA teams and get back to America. I really don't plan on staying here forever because this isn't the ultimate goal for me. This isn't the league that I really want to be in. The league that I really want to be in is the NBA, the National Basketball Association. I just came over here to get a bag, secure my money. I can't sit on I can't go to LA Fitness and 24 Hour Fitness and play against regular guys, Joes and Schmoes and shit, and think, oh, that's good bump, that's good competition. No, I'm gonna take this bag that you guys are offering. I'm gonna play for 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, how many ever months this league is. I'm gonna ball out, and in hopes of me sending this tape back to some of these NBA teams, at least get a summer league deal, a G League deal, a two-way deal, just to get my foot through the door and earn my spot back. So yesterday I'm on Twitter, and this is all connected. So yesterday I'm on Twitter and I see Rondell Hollis Jefferson. He was drafted by the Nets out of Arizona, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, I believe. I know who he is. I've seen him play. He's pretty good at Arizona. So he plays in the league for a few years. He plays for the Nets for about 3, maybe 4 years. He bounces around the league a little bit to the point where he ends up being out of the league. So yesterday I'm on Twitter and I see he posted like these 4 different like slides or whatever of like him like putting his comments about like why he hasn't gotten another shot to make it to the league, to get back into the league. And it's damn near, no disrespect, but I'm going to say it's begging. Like he was basically begging to get back. He said, even to quote him, he said, I just want another opportunity. I'll sleep in the gym. And I'm reading it and I'm looking at it and I'm like, damn, here's a guy who initially was drafted to the NBA, had to go overseas, played pretty well, but he just never got another shot. And I know for him, he was probably overseas thinking like, when he initially went overseas, and I'm not putting words in his mouth, I'm just thinking like how I would think. I'm putting myself in his shoes, how I would think. He went overseas, he's probably like, damn, yeah, I really don't want to do this, but I have to right now because, the money and, if I want to get back, my mindset is just to kill everything. I'm going to kill everything, I'm going to ball out, and my opportunity will come. Went over there, played well, but the opportunity never came. There was probably no calls, and that turned into yesterday. He's probably just frustrated, probably sitting at home, just thinking like, damn, I'm watching guys I know I'm better than get opportunities, and I haven't got a call back yet. It's kind of disrespectful because I'm doing my thing overseas. I thought this is how this was going to go, but I just feel like in his situation, it's just sad that we have American-born players that have to basically beg for another opportunity when, not that anything should be given. I'm not saying that he deserves it because there's a lot of guys who deserve a chance to be on the NBA roster. He's not above anybody else who's overseas right now, who's been overseas for 10 plus years, going from country to country to country, to small town to small town, to A League, B League, C League, D League. That says like, oh, he deserves a chance. I'm just saying like, he's just a product of what a lot of other guys are thinking. What he said yesterday was what a lot of guys want to say and are thinking too, who are sitting in other countries right now in their small apartment, big house, big mansion, and thinking like, damn, yeah, I might have a nice house over here, but bro, I want to be in the fucking NBA. I don't want to be overseas. I don't want to do it. And he, like I said, he's just saying what every other player is thinking. And I'm like, what he's going through isn't something I've never seen before. I've seen it with certain guys, like, and this is one of my favorite players. Like, he's still one of my favorite players, regardless of what anybody thinks. Boogie Cousins. Boogie Cousins was, what, number 1 overall pick, number 2, top 3 pick in his draft out of Kentucky. Watched him in Kentucky. Fucking dog. Could still play. And you can see that. You can see that in his highlights. He can still play. I don't give a fuck what anybody says on here, what anybody says in the fucking comments. He can still fucking play. He should be in the fucking league. If anybody should be in the fucking league, he should be in the fucking league. You know, he's been not starving for opportunity, because recently, a few months back, he said that he's over the NBA now. Just because I'm pretty sure he felt disrespected by coaches and GMs, that he's felt overlooked because, bro, there's centers that's in the league playing that. Come on, bro. We know that he's better than a lot of guys, and you guys are going to not create it, but the reason for him being out for a little bit of some others is there was narratives created on him about his attitude or whatever, but his work ethic, all that other bullshit. But in my opinion, I just feel like that's bullshit, because people change. People could change. Him being out the league and bouncing from team to team, going from a max contract all-star to league minimum, is going to change your mentality. It has to. He has no choice. It has to change the mentality. I just feel like he deserves a chance. Luke Cornett, come on, bro. He just won a championship with the Celtics. He's not even as half as talented as what Boogie Cousins is. And we all know that. Come on. There's teams that needed big men in the playoffs that basically chose not to give Cousins a chance, and certain others a chance, because they would rather lose than to bring him in. Basically, that's what I think. That's what I think. Teams would rather, and it's a fucked up thing to say, but teams would rather lose than to bring certain guys in to help them, give them a real chance to win. And it's bullshit. And I feel like with Boogie, him being a vet, he would help so many other guys with their development. Him being, experienced in being a star, fucking number 1 option for the Sacramento Kings for all those years. He would be good. Dwight Howard would be good. Isaiah Thomas would be good. John Wall would be good. I just saw Kemba Walker announce a retirement, which is bullshit, because I know he has more left in the tank. I know he does. But the fact that nobody's calling, and if they are calling, it's probably for a bullshit minimum deal with no guaranteed money, no guaranteed spot to play, which I know for a fact in his mindset of all the years that he's played ball, I'm not signing that, because I deserve a real chance to actually play. I'm not just going to sit on the bench, wear my team gear for 3 hours, get up, clap around, high five people, and then go home. Like, and it's not about being a bad team. It's not about being a bad teammate or like that or being bitter. It's just like, bro, you can't tell me that this guy in front of me. And this is how all of these guys were trained. This is how all these guys were made, like in the gym, putting in all the work, thinking like, bro, you may think that this dude's better than me, but he's really not. That's how my mindset is. It's not cockiness, it's confidence. People get the two misconstrued all the time. But as far as Kemba retiring and then, Melo retiring, and I know Melo has a lot more left in the tank too. Like, you can't tell me that he just doesn't. But I feel like he retired because that bullshit that the NBA did a few years back with him waiting 14 months to get an opportunity to play, and he had to wait all those months just for the Trailblazers to call him, when he knew in the back of his mind, like, bro, watching certain guys get signed, like, bro, for real, like, this dude over me, come on, bro. I'm one of the best scorers of all time. Like, you can't tell me Melo's a top 5 scorer of all time. Probably top 3, depending on who you talk to. Like, he is. It just is what it is. And I know for that, going back to that, I just feel like he watched certain guys get signed. It's like, really, nigga? Like, really? This dude? Like, come on. He's not better than me. Like, he's not. And like I said, it's not cockiness. It's confidence. He puts the work. These guys put the work in. They know they're in the gym every day. They know the work that they put in. They know that the film that they're watching. They know the scheme. They know all the schemes. They know all they don't know all the nuances of the game. It just is what it is. It's just fucked up. As a fan of ball, as a fan of good ball, watching guys that I've watched and been fans of get just pushed out, and this is what the league is doing. They're forcing vets out. A lot of teams need those vets on those teams to teach the younger guys the ropes and, be good financial advisors and tell them to invest their money right. Don't spend your money on bullshit. Make sure you're getting to the gym on time. staying late for extra work, getting a good lift in. That's why you have certain teams that are basically stuck in the limbo of just being trash. They don't make that next. They don't take that next step. You see certain guys that are 20 years old who are the vets on their teams who have to lead other 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds. It's like, damn, I'm still trying to figure myself out. And I got to figure out shit for these guys behind me who are damn near 1 year younger than me or 1 year older than me. That's not fair. And it's a lot to put on a coach who, I'm not on the court with these guys. Yes, I'm coaching them, but it would be nice if I had a vet on the court with my younger guys that, when the game is tight and, they're getting nervous and they're getting shooken up, they don't know what to do. They could go to that vet and be like, oh, in this situation, what should I do? Like, in this situation, what should I do? Like, how was it when you was the number one guy? Like, what'd you do? Like, come on, like, help me. When it's hard when you got a starting five of all 20-year-olds, it's like, oh, everybody's trying to play for that next contract because they're like, oh, I don't know if I might be here next year. Like, oh, I want my $100 million contract. I'm trying to take all the shots. When a vet will tell everybody, like, oh, relax. Everybody calm down. We good. Like, come on. Like, we good. Like, clap it up. Like, oh, we good. Like, keep your mind right. Keep your mind right. That's why they're needed. That's why I feel like the NBA should just, like, come on. Like, we need, like, a couple more teams in the league. Like, and stash some vets on those teams with the younger guys. And, that'll help the development. That'll make them better. That'll only make them better. But at the same time, I just feel like the reason why, not that expansion is not a bad thing, but just the vet thing. I feel like the reason why the NBA doesn't want vets, and like I said, this is just my opinion, the reason why the NBA doesn't want is pushing the vets out is because they feel like a lot of them aren't gonna take that lesser role because they feel like if I bring them in here, they're going to go so hard to try and prove that they're still that guy. And it's like, I don't need them stunting my younger players' growth because that's what some GMs and some vice presidents feel like. They feel like, oh, well, if I let this guy back in or I give him an opportunity, he's going to come in here. He's going to try to take all the shots, try to find a way to get another max deal just to extend his career when I don't want him to do that because I got my first round pick who I plan on making him the face of my franchise. And it's like now, he's basically battling it out with a 30-plus-year-old who feels like, damn, I still got a lot of things. I'm going to show them like I'm going to dribble a bunch. I'm not going to take plays off, but I'm going to just, take all the shots. I'm going to try to take this shit over. Like I'm going to come in here and take this shit over. And I just feel like a lot of teams are just like, you know what? We'll just deal with the bullshit of having a team full of 19-year-olds and their baggage and their dumb shit, and we'll just deal with that instead of having like this old motherfucker coming in here trying to take over, trying to show that he could still be the guy. We don't need him trying to do that because all you're gonna do is fuck up these guys' mentalities, and then they're gonna start questioning themselves. We don't need that. We'll just deal with the bullshit. But it's just tough because when I sit and watch certain teams play, these young teams, I'm like, damn, I could see how a vet could help a team, like a certain team that I'm watching. I'm just like, I could see how, a Boogie could help, Isaiah Thomas could help, a John Wall could help, guys like that. Like, I can see how these guys can help rosters. And it's just like, it's just sad to see when I'm on Instagram and I'm watching them work out and I'm like, damn, like, I know for them, it's like, I'm in open run. And I'm like, I'm running with dudes in the off season that's got deals. And I'm like, bro, I'm cooking this motherfucker. Like, how the fuck this dude got a deal over me? And there's no hate towards them. Get your money. But it's just like, bro, John Wall, I'm the former number one overall pick. Fuck you mean? I'm in the off season with no deal. Like, that don't even make sense. Like, I'm going this long without a deal. Like, bro, I know I've been through a bunch of injuries, but I'm healthy, bro. Like, I'm good. Like, all I'm looking for is an opportunity. I'm not asking y'all to guarantee me anything. I'm just saying, give me an opportunity to open the door, and when I get the opportunity, I'm gonna run with it. And I'm gonna be, the best vet that I could be for whatever team that I'm on, whatever role that I'm asked to take on. I'm gonna do it. I just feel like for him and other guys, they just feel like damn, it's unfair because when the season rolls back around and they're home, they're watching other guys play, and they're like, bro, this dude's not fucking with me. Like, he's not better than me. Like, y'all signed this dude. Like, this dude got a spot over me. Like, it's just tough, and it's tough for the fans like me too, who watch these guys play, and I know these guys got a lot left, and it's tough because you're watching the sad part about all of this is, the worst part about it is, you're watching guys retire prematurely. Like they're prematurely retiring when they shouldn't have to. I would like to, and not that I'm thinking like if the world was perfect, because the world isn't perfect, but I would love to watch a guy like retire on his own merit. Don't retire because the phone stopped ringing. I just don't want to, I don't like watching it. Like, oh, I wake up and I check my feed and oh, this person retired. I'm like, fuck, and he's only like 32. It's like, fuck, like, come on, bro. Like, I know this dude can still play. Like, he's basically retiring because, like I said, he's not trying to go overseas. I'm not doing that. I don't want to do it. I'm not being away from my family. I'm not doing it. The NBA is not calling because in America, the NBA is the only league that we have. And overseas, there's thousands of leagues that you can play in. Do they all play great? Pay great? No. Is all the competition the best? No. But at the same time, guys don't want to go through that strenuous thing of, like I said, continuously moving all the time. I don't want to do that. Like, I just don't want to do that. So you have guys that's like, you know what? I'm stuck on my ways of like being in the NBA because, you know, I got that taste of the NBA lifestyle. And I can't, it's like, I can't give it up. I just can't because I know what comes. I miss, you know, these guys being away. They miss those playing rides with their teammates laughing, joking, talking about what they're going to do tonight, upbringing, how's the family, that camaraderie, because that's where it starts. The plane rides, the bus rides, the back-to-backs, the practices. They miss all of that stuff. And so, you know, when they're detached from that, it's like, fuck, I know if I go overseas, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that. You got to have you might have to have like an interpreter because people might not understand what you're saying. You know, you're going to stay to yourself because I don't know none of these dudes. Like, it's kind of like forceful interaction. Like, I don't know none of these guys. So I'm basically forcing my way to have a conversation with dudes that it's 6 months. To be completely honest, I'm not going to remember any of you motherfuckers. Respectfully, I'm not, because I'm going to go back to the States. But it's just tough. Like I said, you're watching guys just prematurely retire because the leagues basically pushed them out. And it's tough because it's like, damn, I got to retire, but I know I still got a lot left in the tank, but I got to just, you know, I got to do what I got to do because, you know, I'm not going to sit around all day waiting for a call that at this point in time is probably never going to come because as years go on, you know, there's a draft every year. There's so many different outlets for talent these days that NBA teams are plucking from. Like, now it's everybody's, you know, obsessed with the Euros. The Euros is the new thing. Like, everybody's looking for the next Victor. Everybody's looking for the next Joker. Everybody's looking for the next Luka. Like, I'm trying to find that guy overseas. American-born players, they're like second fiddle now. Like, you guys is it, but you're really not it. Like, I'm trying to find a tall, lanky guy who could play all 5 positions and be versatile. Positionless basketball. But it's just tough because when these guys come in the league, these young guys that you guys are feeding to that salivating over getting, you don't think that it would be better for the development if they had a vet on the team that could teach them the ropes? You don't think that would be smart for their development? Like, they don't know anything. Like, and even overseas, but not even just that, overseas and American-born players. You coming into this league with a bunch of guys who, bro, this isn't a game. It's a game, but it's not a game anymore. Guys are playing to feed their families. Like, and with social media being as big as it is, these guys are watching these young guys come up, all these media outlets hyping them up. It's like, bro, when y'all get to the league, that's why when y'all come to the league, y'all getting y'all fucking asses beat in because, pause, you guys are getting basically destroyed or punked by other players because they're like, yo, I've been hearing about you for the last few years. I've seen it. They've been tagging you guys in all these videos, hyping you guys up with all these nice ass little highlights. Like, bro, you coming in and you're gonna get like a wake up call. But if they had a vet behind them to stick up for them, that you know, when they get pushed down, they could pick them up and go fight for them. That would help the development because that would make them like more confident in their skills. Not saying they're not already confident, but it would just help them. It's all helpful at the end of the day. Like, it's all needed. Like, vets are needed. They'll always be needed. Now, like I said, the NBA is on bullshit, so they're pushing them all out, but they're always going to be needed. Like, you can see it. you could just see it. Like, I could see it. If anybody with 2 eyes in a fucking brain that works could see that vets will always be needed. Like, it just is what it is. I just feel like the NBA. You got to expand, bro. Like, we got to get more teams. We got to find better opportunities for guys to showcase their talent, because we got a lot of talent that's just in a limbo and fucking, DMP. They're in DMP purgatory, and they're just like, there's no way out. And I know for a lot of guys, they probably feel like there's no way out. But as a fan of the game, I just want to see a better brand of basketball. And I'm not saying I don't see it, but it could be better. That's all I can say. It could be better, but we'll see. It's a business at the end of the day. They're about making money. So, it's remained to be seen. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like, comment, subscribe, and